Yo, what is up, CHH fans? Today, I have a special guest here with me. This man was on the first track in Indie Tribe Upper Hand. Not only that, but he's been noticed by tons of CHH rappers, along with various other things going on in his life right now. So, I want to introduce to y'all, or maybe just re-announce to many, David Livick. Thank you, man, for coming on the channel, bro. I appreciate it, bro.
Thank you for having me.
No problem, man. No problem. I'm glad you're on here, bro. It's about to be an awesome conversation and tons of great things we're going to be talking about. So, first thing, let's talk about these OGs, because they're a big part of like this CHH space that we're in. Like, we have Andy Mineo, Lecrae, starting most of the new wave. So, like, what would you say was like maybe their biggest impact within this space that like you think will carry on throughout CHH history?
Oh man, that's a tough question. I guess, I mean, obviously, when they decided to go the mainstream route of, I guess collabing with more non-Christian artists, I guess, obviously that was a pretty big thing as far as like impact and change. I mean, obviously there are a lot more than that, but that kind of shifted the culture a bit. I guess, Lecrae's popularity and stuff has been massive for the space. His ability to put on artists. He can do, collab project with 1K coming up, and it'll probably be 1K's biggest release. So I guess that his impact's pretty massive, even though he kind of went away from what made him big, which I don't think is a bad thing. I think it was a good thing. And his whole getting behind all the kind of racial tension and stuff, and speaking his mind on that, I think that opened up the space of Christian hip hop, because I guess a lot of the pastors and stuff at the time were supporting him, and then he said stuff that they disagreed with, but he was unapologetic about it. So that anything Lecrae does, that gives everyone else behind him the confidence to do the same. So, I don't know if I answered that right, but
No, you definitely did. I agree. Yeah, I believe that Lecrae has definitely started a lot of trends within the space when it comes to like things we can do, things we can't do, things we shouldn't do. Like when it comes to collabs, like teaching people to like reach out the space, like grow your fan base, and see what you can do, and like broaden your art and stuff like that. I think it's great, especially teaching like CHH artists to be bold and like stand for what they believe in and stuff like that. I think it's awesome, and I definitely agree that that's what Lecrae's done. And speaking of what you were just saying, when it comes to him putting artists on, like this Summer 21 project, where like it introduced tons of new artists like Jude. We had TJ Carroll, Big Breeze. So like, what are your thoughts on like the new up and comers, like the ones on the way? Like you just did an interview with Stephen Malcom, who's basically saying he's a new legend, and I couldn't agree more. So like, what are your thoughts on like the newer legends and like the ones coming up?
Yeah, man, there's a lot of exciting artists at the moment. Obviously, 350 and Swaizy, they're some of my favorites. There's quite a few that I'm coming to learn about that I didn't even know existed. It's pretty cool. I know TJ Carroll, who's really good on the summer playlist. The whole next move guys like Henrik and Christopher Syncere and all those guys. They got Battz and Caleb Gordon. I like their energy. I don't know. There's so many of them. They kind of all hang out around Instagram and I guess TikTok nowadays. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of exciting artists. So I look forward to when they get to, you know, the kind of level where nobigdyl or like Jon Keith, or I mean, I guess they're considered newer as well, and I really like their music um, as well. But yeah, I look forward to when they're like, because there's kind of this whole group of them that are all really cool with each other. Um, so yeah, I'm excited to see how they use TikTok and stuff like that, because I don't really use TikTok at all. Um, but you know,
Agreed.
I see the
Agreed.
kind of impact it has on the culture. So if they're on it like that, then it's I don't know, can only be good for us.
Yeah, man. I've used TikTok a couple of times. Not a pro at it. Don't really use it for videos, but yeah, man, for sure. Yeah, they're definitely on the way. Especially those next move guys. You got Coop in there. Yo, he's
Yeah,
making
yeah.
moves. Yeah, man. And your videos introduced me to tons of them, like Battz. I found out about him through your TikTok video you did. So, or we found out about him.
Oh
Yeah, man. It
yeah,
was,
yeah.
yeah, they're definitely, yeah, man. They're just not holding back. And like once they get to the level like where Lecrae and them are, it can only go up from there. It can definitely only go up from there. But since you mentioned 350 and Swaizy, I also wanted to bring up like collectives, because it seems like we're getting more collectives in the space. Of course it started off before 116 and Dream Junkies, but like that was when like it seemed like it sort of started something in a way. So like then we had Indie Tribe, and then after that now we're getting Solus Music, and now we're getting things like possibly Divine Outcast, so, and Village by Jon Keith. So what do you think, man? Like how do you think like the possibilities of these things will change the space?
Well, I mean, I haven't been in the Christian hip hop space forever. So like, I know there were groups before I was around, but yeah, there's definitely, especially among the young ones, more collectives coming out. Obviously, Indie Tribe's probably the biggest outside of 116. I guess there's like label groups, like God Over Money. Datin has his like Menace movement thing. So I guess, yeah, I mean, among that, I think collectives are only a good thing. It helps, all of them collectively grow. The same thing happened with artists who were on Reach. You're next to Lecrae. There's just more exposure. So, with Indie Tribe, nobigdyl's probably the biggest one, so he sheds more of a light on everyone else. Jon Keith, Mowgli, Mykael. With next move, you've got Henrik, who's, I guess he's probably the most popular because of TikTok and stuff like that. And it's not all about the person who's most popular, but everyone collectively can help each other grow, more than just one guy by himself. Yeah, I think it's great for the space.
I agree. Like so many times, like through life and in events and stuff like that, we keep hearing like there's strength in numbers, and like there's strength in all these things and being together. So like we've seen the potential like with the upper hand, and we've seen the potential with ciphers and all these things, and seen like what they can really do and the amazing music they can make. And I think that's the like possibly one of the best parts about like collectives and things like this, that we get to see more of what an artist can do when they work together. And I think that's like one of the best parts. Okay, so since we brought up these collectives, this is more of a conspiracy theory or more of like the potential type of thing. But how do you think this Swaizy and Divine Outcast thing might play? Because I'm feeling like this could be possibly. I mean, don't get me wrong. I just think it could be the next Indie Tribe. It's maybe, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I actually don't know too much about Divine Outcast, if I'm being fully honest. I know he uploaded his last 2 music videos on there. Do you know, is there anyone who's a part of that group, or?
I don't same like what you were saying. I don't know much about it other than the videos and the channel being made, and of course his clothing line and brand. But
yeah,
I don't know, man.
I guess I don't know. We'd have to see what kind of direction he wants to go. If it's gonna be it could be a collective of artists. It could be, I don't know, like a lyrical lemonade type channel. Just compilation of different music videos and stuff he wants to put on. I know he's close with Jude and stuff, so I don't know if he would, do a collective with him, or any of his other friends. So I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I could definitely see more Jude collabs, especially with that song he did with Jude earlier. I don't remember the name of it, but I'll put the link in the description.
Princess Peach or something like that.
Yeah. That was it. It was actually a great song. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. And then I believe Jude produced Miata by Swaizy also. So then we're seeing some Jude and Swaizy collabs going on. It's looking bright. It's looking bright, man. For sure.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what happens next. Yeah, man. It's looking awesome, man. It's looking awesome. Okay, so I wanted to bring up another thing from one of your videos that you highlighted. Holy Smoke Fest, or should I say touring. Quarantine doesn't look like it's going anywhere right now. And we saw a lot of virtual tours and a lot of virtual things going on. So, how do you think touring might, be impacted or change over time? Virtually and all those things, man. Within the space.
Well, I guess it just depends on how long this pandemic kind of stretches out for. I know a lot of artists make most of their money from touring, so in that aspect it's obviously not the best. I mean, I know KB kind of had a virtual tour thing going. I think for smaller budget people it's a bit harder. So I know they kind of stick to Instagram Live, or I don't know, maybe doing a live performance of a song on YouTube or something like that. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't live in the US, so I don't know fully the situation. I know there's been some more tours starting up, but I know Delta's kind of ruining that a bit. But
oh my goodness.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see in a couple of years if this is still dragging out or not. Hopefully not, so we can... I mean, I haven't been to a CHH concert because, I'm on the other side of the world, but... I
haven't either.
Yeah, I know the Holy Smoke Fest was really cool. I like what they got going. They kind of realized they need to grow a kind of grassroots kind of movement rather than just hopping on to tours or stuff like that, or you kind of just don't get your own fans or actual ticket sales. So
yeah, man. Yeah, that was great, bro. I agree. So 2020, yeah, it was a really weird year when it came to touring. It was really awkward in some ways, Zoom tours and stuff like that. The KB tour, I wish I saw it. It seemed awesome. But I did get to experience Andy Mineo's tour. His it was around Christmas time, and it was more of skits and stuff like that, but also putting music within the skits. So who knows? Maybe that might be the future of online touring. I don't know. But could there be a possibility in... Right, exactly, yeah, I agree. It could be just a skit tour type of thing going on with CHH, or maybe they substitute touring for payments on TikTok. I don't know. I mean, they're definitely taking advantage, and yeah, who knows? I mean, this year has proven that you don't need touring, and you definitely don't need like to be in person to get your change and get your money for sure. So, yeah, man. So since we've talked about touring, we've talked about skits, we've talked about some amazing things, and mentioned Andy Mineo and Lecrae a couple of times. How do you think these upcoming albums and EPs are going to change the world? We've got New Hollywood, we've got Neverland 2, Church Close 4, and Aaron Cole's 2 Up, 2 Down. Like, what could these do for the culture? Like,
well, it's always good when the bigger artists are releasing, because it kind of gets the whole space more energized. More people are searching out Christian hip hop. So that's only a plus. At the end of the day, it kind of just matters on like what actually gets released, like if it's actually good or not.
yeah.
Lord willing, it'll actually be good. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to New Hollywood and Neverland 2 as well. Hopefully, yeah, I don't know what to expect. Obviously, there's been snippets for New Hollywood, but that could be totally different now. It's kind of been dragged out for a while, so next time there's a release date, I hope that's the final release date. I know Andy Mineo's kind of had the same thing, but there's kind of certain circumstances that kind of hold him back there. But yeah, Neverland 2 looks like a really cool conceptual project as well, from what I've heard from interviews and the singles that have come out so far. So yeah, and I guess there's Lecrae and Aaron Cole as well. I mean, anytime Lecrae releases, it'll be big. I guess it depends on the subject matter of Church Clothes. I guess we'll see what direction, if because the last one was pretty, like, I guess, political or slash, like, talking about race stuff the whole time. So if he wants to go in that direction, or whatever else he wants to do. But yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Oh my goodness, bro. Yeah, the New Hollywood snippets, bro. I've been waiting for New Hollywood so long. I've probably listened to like the song "Beautiful" on More Than Music. I can't count how many times, bro. It seems amazing. I'm ready for it so much. I'll keep listening to snippets until it's out. Yeah, man, it's been awesome. And with the Neverland 2 thing, I feel like it could possibly be the Neverland if it was made today. Like, it seems like it's gonna be awesome. Great, tons of testimonies and tons of like new Andy Mineo things going on. So it seems great. They're like, yeah, they're amazing. They're the OGs for sure, bro. Definitely the OGs. So, I have a question about songs, because it seemed like there seemed to be a trend within the space where you would get EPs, and not only EPs, but like maybe 1 minute or 2 minute songs. But then it seemed like we took a turn and then went back to the longer song, like lengthier songs again. Like, do you think we're gonna go back to the space where it's more shorter, or like back to where it's longer songs and more albums? So like,
I think it just
how do you think it's
depends
gonna
on
go?
the artist, because like, you said, kind of a lot of the new school kind of trap songs are like very short, like sometimes like a minute or a minute and a half. But I guess it kind of just follows the trend of hip hop as well. Like, short songs and EPs were a big thing, and then Kanye and Drake, they both release like long albums with like long songs. They're averaging, for Kanye's one, like 5 minutes. So I think it's just all up to what mainstream is doing, and I don't mind either way, as long as whatever is particular to the song, like if it's kind of just very short verse and then just like a hook or something. Like it being short isn't that bad, but you don't want it too long because it's, you don't want it too drawn out. So
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. I was watching this reaction channel. This dude was reacting to KB's Lincoln, and he was basically saying like, of course it was a long song, but over time it kept changing, which kind of made it seem new. So like, I agree, man. Like, if it's not gonna change, don't make it any longer than it already is. Just you know what I'm saying. And I think that's like the great part where you were saying like, each artist is different. And I think that's one of the great parts about like what to expect from New Hollywood. Also, like, WHATUPRG, he is not a predictable artist, and like he's proven that tons of times over the course of like his career. Like with I believe it was Courtside. Like I saw a comment on a video, and they were like, that was like the best 52 seconds of my life. It was a hard 52 seconds, but it felt like way longer. It was awesome. It was an awesome song. So, like, when it comes to New Hollywood, we don't know what to expect. When it comes to the future of CHH, it's different for everybody. Like, we're seeing EPs and albums and all these things. So, yeah, man, I definitely agree. Definitely agree. So what are you looking forward to most when it comes to, like, the glow-up of these artists? Like, what do you hope that they, like, shine light on, or hoping they change within the space?
I guess just a dependency on the big artists. I guess you see with mainstream hip hop, you have, I guess from my perspective, because I do YouTube, you have, if you're doing mainstream hip hop, there's a very vast amount of people you could talk about, and there'd be an audience for that, and people would be interested. But with Christian hip hop, because it's so top heavy, you have reach, and then you kind of have some mid-tier artists, and then everyone else is kind of down at the bottom. So hopefully it'll kind of even it out a bit. It'll be more content to talk about across the board, that people will be interested in, because I guess half the time people don't know about them. I guess the people who are, I guess, a bit lower in status or whatever, don't have the resources to make as good music either. With the internet and stuff, that's kind of changing now. But that's probably, from my perspective, the most exciting thing. Like, see Caleb Gordon, he's growing really fast at the moment, and it's like all from a different audience and stuff, which is really cool. Not just grabbing from the same kind of reach audience. And you see other artists who I guess aren't really in Christian hip hop, like Toby Nwigwe. He took, like, it's a Christian who raps, but he built his space like way away from Christian hip hop, and it's done really well for him. So yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's definitely amazing seeing the growth within the space of like these new up and comers and like the new cats and stuff like that, man. It's definitely awesome. So like you mentioned some of these new artists, and we realized that most of the new up and comers have been going indie more, and Indie Tribe going on billboards has more of inspired like independence than like signing to a label. So like, do you see the future of hip hop more labels, or would you say it's going to be possibly like more indies and more people doing their thing without a label? Oh, more indie, definitely, like, because of the internet and how that's changed things. I think just the benefits of being independent are just so big now. Like, you can do whatever you want. You don't have to go to a studio. You can have your own studio at home. Distribution stuff. You can, get it out through the internet. So I think, especially with the freedom and stuff, I think things will be leaning more independent. Obviously labels still have a lot of resources, and you can kind of see when a label gets behind an artist, they have these crazy big music videos, like like Cardi B, like it looks like a Hollywood film kind of budget, so there'll still be people who want to go for that, but I think for a lot of people, indie will hopefully become more profitable as well, and they make 100%, or they split it with less people so they get more money and stuff. So
yeah, man, I agree. I totally agree. Indie is definitely the future, especially since you get to make your own choices when you choose to drop, when you choose not to drop, all these things, especially with all these artists on the way, possibly don't want those boundaries of on the freedom they have of their art and all these things. And a little bonus thing for all the editors out there, y'all are needed in this time. We've got cinematics, we've got Nerd with a camera. They're releasing these cinematic type of videos that look amazing. So for all you editors, now's your time, man. Get hooked up with an artist and make your money, man. Just do your thing, for real.
For sure.
Okay, so this is a question I'm not. Right, exactly, bro. Yeah, man. These editors, we gotta get y'all out there, for real. Okay, man. This question, I hope it doesn't hurt anyone's feelings, but over time we've learned with athletes, we've learned with all these different spaces. Eventually, people pass down the baton and hand it down to the next people after them. So, Lecrae, fans were worried. We were very worried that Lecrae was retiring soon. So, what do you think is gonna possibly be the future for the OGs, Andy, Mineo, Lecrae, Triple E, Tedashii, all of them once they pass the baton? You think it's going to be more features, or possibly doing their own thing outside of music, or maybe just songs or books, or what do you think it looks like for the OGs of the space?
Well, I think, I don't know, it just all depends. Triple E kind of has already gone into his kind of pastor role with the church that he's with. Tedashii kind of just does features from what I've heard, because I hear him on Christian radio sometimes. Andy, he'll probably do music for a while because he's just an artistic dude.
Amazing.
I guess Lecrae, he's got businesses and the whole label and stuff, so he'll probably kind of go back into that role, more so than he is now. With other artists like a Bizzle or something, he'll probably, I don't know, he tends to sell a lot of shirts and stuff, so I don't know if he'll keep doing that, or kind of build up God Over Money more. You see other ones like Thistle and stuff do more and more community stuff. So yeah, I know it just depends on the artist. Some of them are more ministry focused, some other people just do business, or yeah, man, that was a great response. I agree. It just depends on the trajectory of where they want to go, where they want to be, where they want to place themselves within the space. It doesn't mean they leave the space. It just means they might be doing something different outside of the space. It might be more production or something like that. So yeah, man, I look forward to what God has in store for the space, for the people, for the OGs, for everybody within the space, producers, videographers. It's definitely going to be amazing. How the space grows and changes over time, for sure, man, for sure. But thank you all for tuning into this video. Thank you, David Livick, for hopping on and definitely doing and talking and having conversations about what this CHH space might look like soon to come. And make sure to tune into the videos on the way. Make sure to press those important buttons below so you're notified when new videos are released. And make sure to subscribe to David Livick's channels, his Livick CHH channel and his main channel. Y'all gotta support. You gotta support him. He's got great reactions and also has a great perspective on the space.
So make sure to check out his videos. Make sure to comment on his videos too, because, you know, all the people can use the support. And we'll see you all next time.
Thank you.